watching Oklahoma's News 4 at noon.
Thanks for being here at noon. Of course, we begin in the 4-1 Storm Center. An October ice storm wreaking a lot of havoc across Oklahoma. Let's get to Emily Sutton right now on the brain latest on this winter weather, but it's not winter, right?
Oh my goodness, Kent. Whenever I see viewer photos of iced over pumpkins or skeletons, that's what's telling the story as to how out of the ordinary this is. Just a week ago, we were in the 80s. Now we're tracking an ongoing ice storm. Let's take a look at our team of trackers that have all been out since early this morning. We have team coverage here. Meteorologist Aaron Brackett's out in the Interceptor. We have meteorologist John Slater will be tag teaming in studio as well. Let's start out, though, with Kevin Josephy, who has been out since early this morning. He's been tracking across the metro ice accumulations, but especially some higher ice accumulations just east of OKC. What's your location right now? What can you tell us?
I'm out here in Choctaw, Oklahoma, and they had significant icing, like you said, like Hera did as well. And I'll pull over here to these branches that are drooping down in the road, and I zoom in on them and try to get a good shot for you. That's at least a half inch to a quarter inch of ice that is on these tree branches out here, and that's what the folks out here are dealing with. Lots of tree branches down everywhere. The roads are just wet now. I have seen some ice chunks falling off the power line, so a small melt might be happening, but I'll keep monitoring the situation out here, Emily, and reporting back any other damage I find to you.
Okay, thanks for that. We appreciate your live report. And we're going to be checking in with our other trackers across the metro and, of course, across northern Oklahoma as well, as this has had a widespread impact. Right now, our focus is on the temperature. Let's take a look at our current temperatures, and we are right at 30 degrees for OKC, but notice southern and eastern sides of the metro at 32 degrees. So very crucial. We want to climb right to 33. So this is still freezing rain, and I've had some reports of improving road conditions for especially the West Metro, where we've had sleet-packed roads. Well, that's because the freezing rain is now washing away some of that sleet, so the roads appear to be better. However, this is still freezing up on anything that's elevated. And watch out as we slowly warm later today. Our main concern will be for falling ice and additional falling tree limbs that will cause more power outages even as we start to warm above freezing. So we're not out of the woods yet. We have an ice storm warning that continues for northern, central, and western Oklahoma until 1 p.m. tomorrow morning. It has been extended and expanded across the state. Storm scanner showing a lot of pink on here. Most of this is freezing rain. Earlier this morning, we had a bunch of sleet mixing in as well. What's happening? It's not so much the ground temperature, it's the air that's above it. We have warmer air wedging in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and that is causing this to fall as freezing rain. Freezing rain, all it is a super cooled water droplet that freezes on contact and creates an ice coating. And that's what's happening all across central, northern, and southwestern Oklahoma. This is still freezing rain over Lawton, over Fort Cobb. A little bit farther east, we have freezing rain over Pauls Valley, up through Maud, although notice the freezing line is creeping a little bit closer. Light freezing rain over Shawnee. We have a little bit of a break here from OKC to Norman. This is still some freezing mist and drizzle, though, so it will be adding, and we could have some slick spots on bridges and overpasses. We have a band of heavier freezing rain from El Reno to Gary to Hinton to Bangor, places that earlier Mark Dillard this morning showed snow-packed or sleet-packed roads with some ice underneath it. So now we're adding more ice on top of it, and that's going to still create some tricky road conditions. Off to the north, we have some freezing rain or rain for Stillwater. It's right on the cusp. And then for Enid, this is still a pocket of heavier freezing rain. This is where we have Mike Bennett. We'll be checking in with him momentarily. Off to the northwest, Woodward, a small area of freezing rain and sleet. It's 27 for Woodward, but OKC, we're just below freezing. The freezing line is slowly migrating off to the north. Winds out of the north at 15 miles per hour. We lucked out. If we had winds staying up like they were early this morning, we would have even more power outages across the state. They were up at around 20 to 25 miles per hour at around 3 to 5 a.m. Wind chills in the teens and 20s, and this afternoon we will see it switching over to rain. Now the question is, when will that happen? Latest model data hints maybe at the best 3 p.m. or so. So I'm hoping it'll transition for the metro to rain, but ongoing ice storm for parts of west central and southwestern Oklahoma. We'll have more from our crews and the latest on when all this moves out coming up, Kent.
Emily, thank you. And of course, down power lines all across the metro, unfortunately, right now. News 4's Emily Akins is live near I-35 and Northeast 23rd. Emily, they're dealing with power outages and even a house fire. We're having a little bit of trouble there with Emily's audio right now. Well, we want to check in with our Taylor Adams this afternoon as well. We've got teams all over the metro, and you're at the memorial because it's really heartbreaking. It's the survivor tree.
Person and the most difficult to show you now. You can see it's lost a huge branch. Crews, they've been working all morning to try and save the rest of these branches. You can see they put up posts, really painstaking work, but important work, because this tree just means so much to our city, so much to our entire state. The last time the survivor tree lost a branch like this, back in 2018, another ice storm right below the branch right now that it's lost, but it survived so much, survived a bombing. They told me that it's been here almost 100 years now. Right now, crews just hoping for a better next 24 hours.
We're doing the best we can, and we've got the best guys, the best facilities crew, and the State Forestry Division is always here. Mark Bays and his team are here, and I just can't say enough for everyone who's trying to help save the tree.
Well, around the perimeter of the tree, it reads, "The spirit of this city and this nation will not be defeated. Our deeply rooted faith, sustains us." And that is certainly true for this tree. It's been through so much, and this ice storm will not take it out. The crews are hopeful for the next 24 hours. Ken.
Let's hope those crews can do their work there and get all that handled. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Our winter weather coverage will continue as we are checking in. Well, we're having a little technical difficulty. I think it's the cold's getting in the computers too, Emily.
Well, it has. We've had several power glitches here. I mean, you're not alone, guys. And we are tracking the latest on this ongoing ice storm. I'm sad to report that our power outages have doubled since when we were doing live coverage this morning. OG&E System Watch reporting over 200,000 customers without power, and that's just OG&E. That's not the rural areas and all the other electric companies. So we're going to be tracking this. We're not done yet with the power outages. Ice continues to accumulate. I'll have more from our crews next.
You're watching the new news on Oklahoma's News 4 with Ken Ogle and Emily Sutton. Oklahoma's News 4, looking out for you.